recognized symbol of excellence in sports entertainment.
The Superstars of Wrestling is on the air. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Superstars of Wrestling here in the World Wrestling Federation. I'm Vince McMahon along with Bruno Sammartino and Jesse the Body Ventura. We're going to, from Hollywood, we're going to have lots of action. Superstars of Wrestling to join us a six-man tag team matchup. The Junkyard Dog, George the Animal Steele, and their partner, Billy Jack Haynes. Also to join us, Andre the Giant, courtesy of the Body, Jesse Ventura. Also to be here with us, the one and the only Jake the Snake Roberts. And then, a match you would not want to miss, the non-title matchup. The British Bulldogs taking on the Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkoff. All that and more this week.
The following is a six-man tag team match scheduled for one fall. In the ring to my left from Modesto, California, at 228 pounds, Mike Luca. From Hollywood, California, at 275 pounds, Tim Patterson. And from Quebec, Canada, 250 pounds, Frankie Martin. And their opponent, from Charlotte, North Carolina, weighing 280 pounds, the Junkyard Dog. From Detroit, Michigan, at 288 pounds, George the Animal Steele. And their partner.
Well, the ring announcer got out of there before he could introduce Billy Jack Haynes. The Animal just takes the official out of the ring.
Yeah, it's no wonder. Anytime Steele hits the ring, it's total chaos.
All right, come on, grab him, take the ring.
I don't need to grab no cake.
The Junkyard Dog, and now with Billy Jack Haynes. George the Animal Steele, what a threesome. How would you like to have dinner with that threesome?
Well, I'll tell you what, McMahon, I thought Billy Jack Haynes had a little bit more class than to hang out with the people he's hanging around with.
What do you mean by that?
I mean the JYD and George Steele.
Billy Jack, one of the strongest men in the World Wrestling Federation, locking up with Ricky Martin. Six-man matchup here to start things this week. Here on the Superstars of Wrestling, and look at Ricky Martin.
I'll tell you, friends, he's a veteran.
Whoa. Yeah, but that goes to show you the strength of Billy Jack. When he throws you, you're thrown.
Oh, definitely.
On the date of Wednesday, January 28th, the World Wrestling Federation will be returning in the state of Maine to Portland with an outstanding card coming to the Cumberland County Civic Center. You're going to see on the bill such great World Wrestling Federation stars as the King of Wrestling, Harley Race, in addition to Jake the Snake Roberts, all headed your way to the Cumberland County Civic Center, Portland, Maine, Wednesday, January 28th.
Oh, look out.
Ah, here comes Steele.
Hey, how about that? George Steele with a slam.
Wow, George Steele actually did a wrestling move. I can't believe it.
Patterson up in the air. George Steele slams Patterson. What's he going to do? Up in the air again. The Animal. This man is capable of doing anything, the Animal is. And now the Junkyard Dog.
I'm not going to argue with you on that one.
JYD scooping up Rougeau, holds him up there for a while. Let's him think about it. Ooh, power slam. That could
He
be
could
it.
get it.
And
He
the
did
freak
get
out,
it.
yes, sir.
And look at Steele ate a turnbuckle.
Here are your winners, the team of the Junkyard Dog, Billy Jack Haynes and George the Animal Steele.
Not much competition for the threesome of George the Animal Steele, the Junkyard Dog, and Billy Jack Haynes. Look out, the animal going after it.
Steele managed to eat a turnbuckle, though.
Look at that nasty green.
Look at him. Look at him. He's looking for another. There he goes.
Uh-oh. What's he doing now?
McMahon, why don't you buy him dinner sometime so he doesn't have to do this?
I think he likes what he does. I'd love to see you in the ring with the animal, I'll tell you that. Look at that tongue, lizard-like, lapping back and forth like that. You don't see that. That's enough to scare even you. Back to the replay. We saw a lot of body slams to this bout, but the final one was a power slam with JYD on Mike Luke, and of course that was the finale. A powerful slam, and Luke is down for the count. And look, the animal putting the finishing touches on the opponent. George the Animal Steele. Stay tuned, everybody. Scheduled for a special update to join us in a moment. Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff.
From the pages of the World Wrestling Federation magazine, here's Update with Gene Okerlund.
After a number of unsuccessful title matches with heavyweight champion Hulk Hogan, Paul Orndorff's frustrations are starting to show through. Has manager Bobby Heenan turned the psychological corner for Mr. Wonderful? Or has Orndorff become maniacal in nature? World Wrestling Federation fans, you be the judge.
You poor humanoids out there want to know what wonderful means. You want to know what wonderful's all about. You want to know what it's like to see something wonderful, be something wonderful. Well, you never will, probably. But I'm going to show you something right now. The most wonderful athlete in sports today. The only man that can use the name Mr. Wonderful, Paul, Mr. Wonderful Orndorff.
You know something? Being Mr. Wonderful is something that comes very easy. Wonderfulness is having that killer instinct. Wonderfulness is taking a man down and kicking him and stomping him in the face. Wonderfulness is taking a man and rubbing his face in the mat, humiliating him. Wonderfulness is taking a man and throwing him out of the ring, and then throwing him back in the ring. And then the most ultimate wonderfulness thing in the whole world, the thing that I love most, is taking a man and putting him between my legs and picking him up and dropping him on his head and feel that neck go.
Could it be that the Republican Bobby Heenan is leading Paul Orndorff down the primrose path? It could be. It just could be. For Update, I'm Gene Okerlund.
Memphis, Tennessee, indeed the home of one Elvis Presley, just outside his mansion known as Graceland. Here is the Honky Tonk Man, along with Jimmy Hart.
Here we are, Honky, baby. Look at this. This is priceless. This is where the king of rock and roll lived, Elvis Presley, Memphis, Tennessee, baby. Well, look, Colonel Jimmy, you know, I said before we was going to take over Graceland, but under close inspection, I find that the paint's peeling off the old house up there. Some of the bricks are coming loose. The yard's not big enough. The trees are falling down because they're rotting. I think I'm going to have to find a bigger and better place, Colonel. Hey, let me tell you something. I got another piece of property in mind, baby. What are we going to call it? Anything you want to call it. I tell you what, let's call it Honky Land. Honky Land. I like it. Honky Land, Honky Tonk. Honky Land.
I must say, being an Elvis fan myself, I find it very distasteful that the Honky Tonk Man would anyway associate himself or in any way pattern his career after one Elvis Presley.
Well, I don't know what you'd know about Elvis. You're about 10 years older than what Elvis would be, aren't you, McMahon?
I don't believe so.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a tag team contest scheduled for one fall. Introducing first the tag team in the ring, managed by the Doctor of Style, Slick. From Tehran, Iran, weighing 258 pounds, the Iron Sheik. His tag team partner from the Soviet Union at 313 pounds, Nikolai Volkoff. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Volkoff requests that you all rise and respect his singing of the Soviet national anthem.
Jesse, I can't believe you're standing. Why would you?
What? I'm a respectful person.
is over. Sit down.
The opponent.
All right, now you're going to see something.
The World Wrestling Federation Tag Team Champion at a total combined weight of 468 pounds. Davey Boy Smith, the Dynamite Kid, the British Bulldogs.
Oh, yeah. And Matilda. There's a good look at Matilda. That's a tough bulldog, just like Davey Boy and Dynamite are.
Yeah,
Oh, look at her. Oh, my. Oh, my goodness. Look at that. And Matilda went right after Slick. Oh, look at that beautiful face. Look at that kisser.
Yeah. Looks like something you might go out with, McMahon.
I wouldn't mind going out with Matilda. Matilda's a terrific. All right, here we go back. Let's take another replay of this. Whoa, baby, get out of Dodge. She almost got him. Almost had him. Wouldn't you like to have seen that, Jeff?
No, not particularly. In fact, I don't think they should even be allowed to bring that mutt to the ring.
That's not a mutt, that's a purebred. Big Nikolai against Davey Boy. Shoulder block and Nikolai goes down. I can't believe it. He goes down again. To the rope. Wait a minute. Slick gets interfered. Slick just caught an ankle there.
Are you sure about that?
What do you think, man? Is that clumsy just falls down?
Possible.
Bruno, you thought Slick took the ankle.
I certainly did see it, and they better be careful not only of Slick, but Davis is refereeing again. The Bulldogs better watch.
That's it. Davis is refereeing. Okay, that explains a lot.
Who would ask Bruno for an opinion anyway? Bruno's going to tell you what you want to hear.
I don't think they call you the living legend. Ooh, look at that clothesline by the cheek. Kind of two, and that's about all we can get on Davey Boy. The Iron Sheik Nikolai Volkoff, former tag team champion. Suplex by the Sheik, another cover. And a sloppy cover indeed, a count of two. Big Nikolai tagged back in. Wow. Davey Boy, I'm sure, would like nothing better than to tag his partner, Dynamite Kid.
Well, what Volkoff and Sheik have to do is keep Davey Boy in that corner and keep tagging in and out and wear him down.
Davey Boy off the rope. Nikolai with a boot to the midsection, doubling up Davey Boy. And face first. Tag has made the Iron Sheik. Well, I got to say, the Bulldogs don't look all that impressive this
Well, I'll tell you, they look flat. They look real flat.
Oh, but look at that! Now let's see what Dynamite can do. Dynamite with a headbutt. Dynamite would kick off the rope. Hook, straight for the cover. Only one. Dynamite quickly with a front face lock. Hook him again. I got that.
And I will say, nobody does it any faster than Dynamite Kid.
Slick a little bit on the upset side.
As well he ought to be.
And now the tide has turned again.
Sleeper. That's a sleeper hold.
Wait a minute. Slick right up there. Runs the cane to the side. Referee had to see that. Davis had to see that.
I don't know, but they got the dog chasing Slick.
Look at that, all the way back.
We got chaos here, McMahon. But Danny Davis has declared the Sheik and Volkoff the winners.
I don't understand that. I don't understand that at all.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winners of this bout as a result of an outside interference disqualification, Nikolai Volkoff and the Iron Sheik.
Well, apparently they've disqualified Matilda.
I don't understand that. I don't understand that. Let's go back. Let's see if we can pick up what we saw there in the latter stages. Here.
The outside interference is right here and now. Here's Slick. You see with that chain hitting Dynamite Kid right in the ribs. There's what should have caused a disqualification.
Well, if you look close,
Davis in that
you
ring.
saw Davis having to push Davey Boy Smith back to his corner. That's why he didn't see it.
And Davey Boy, here he goes after Slick. And I mean, Matilda was really going after him. Look at that. No more interference here. Slick is running for his life, and Matilda is hot on his heels. Oh, my.
That dog should not be allowed at ringside.
I hope she has a place forever at ringside. Something else again. Let's take you right now, ladies and gentlemen, to Roddy Piper, and his guest in Piper's Pit, I believe, the Macho Man, Randy Savage.
And now, Roddy Piper.
I ain't gonna waste no time, because this ain't really easier on me than it is on you. The Intercontinental Champion, Macho Man, Randy Savage, and the very, very lovely, gorgeous, absolutely spectacular Miss Elizabeth. Hey, I'm interviewing you.
You touched me, man. You got a lot of guts. In fact, how would you like to be a has-been like this guy right here, the Dragon Ricky Steamboat? Don't you know that he ain't around no more? You ain't got the guts to put somebody out of professional wrestling like I did. Adrian Adonis is all over you and still around.
Hey, Gravel Gertie, I'll take care of Humpy the Humpback Whale. You take care of Steamboat, man.
Let me show you something. Macho Man Randy Savage, high in the air.
Wait. It's a lovely doll, but it's got a lot of hair on top of it there.
Danger zone, man. In fact, what I'm going to do, eliminating all circumstances of sarcasm, I'm going to give you a super gift. Yeah. Dragon Ricky Steamboat, his throat is real bad. But you can have a Macho Man Randy.
Why, thank you so much. Thank you, that kind of you. I have a little gift for you, too, my friend. I have here a ringside ticket for a wrestling match because next week you got a ringside ticket to see Mr. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat wrestle. Thank you so much.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first to my right from Houston, Texas, weighing 228 pounds, Alex Mink. And ladies and gentlemen, to my left, Manager Bobby the Brain Heenan presents Hercules.
Hercules, and that man is without a doubt one of the most powerful men in professional wrestling today. No question of that. Hercules with that big cane around him earlier on.
I'll tell you, McMahon, he impresses me with his strength, and I don't impress easy.
And you know, he's a man with not just extraordinary power alone. This man has tremendous agility, all the speed, all the wrestling knowledge, the scientific skills. He's quite a package, I must say.
World Wrestling Federation action returns to Portland, Maine at the Cumberland County Civic Center on the date of Wednesday, January 28th. In addition to Jake the Snake Roberts and the King of Wrestling on the bill, you'll also see Arriba, Tito Santana, and the Junkyard Dog. These great stars and more at the Cumberland County Civic Center, Portland, Maine, Wednesday, January 28th.
That's Bobby the Brain Heenan, not the Weasel.
Some think he's the brain, some think he's the weasel. By the way, you spoke to the weasel earlier, didn't you?
I spoke to Bobby Heenan earlier.
All right. You spoke to him. Wait a minute. Look at this. Backbreaker. This match is history right now.
Oh, yeah.
Got to be history. It is all over. That is history. Once Hercules gets any man up across his back like that, it is curtain. Come on.
Look at Heenan wants to make... Oh, now that's the rough way down to the mat.
Yeah, I'll say the real hard way. Hercules with a round of boos. Nonetheless, victorious. We'll go back to the replay. We'll show you here again. Once you get across this man's back, there is no escape. There's no place but down, and down only after you've surrendered. Bruno?
Here it is. You know, when he gets a man like this, he's doing a backbreaker. He is so powerful that there's no escape. And Alex over here, he's hurting, and I'll tell you, he hesitated not to giving up. Extremely painful hold.
All right, stand by. by because Jesse the Body will speak with Bobby the Brain Heenan, or the Weasel if you wish, about the Andre incident. We make reference, of course, to the reinstatement. He's trying to get information out of Bobby. Here's the way the interview went.
Bobby Heenan, we've been friends a long time. Now, you got to let me in on this. You were there. You were at the meeting when the suspension of Andre the Giant was lifted. Now, I want to know, Bobby, you spent a lot of money to get this man suspended. Tell me what went on.
Okay, I'm going to tell you now. I'm going to tell everybody. That money I spent was well spent, because a man like Hercules Hernandez is probably the greatest athlete in professional wrestling today. You look at the size of Hercules Hernandez, you look at the money I've spent. That ain't what I asked you. Just look at the size of the man. The things you can... Well, at least you're consistent. Still no information out of Bobby the Brain Heenan. All right, stand by, everybody. We'll take you now to well, certainly something a little bit more noteworthy than a Jesse Ventura interview. This one will have to miss it.
Boston Garden, Saturday night, February 7th. A match signed this past week. King Kong Bundy to meet the man he swears cost him the $50,000 last Saturday night. The Duke of Dorchester, Pete Doherty. The Rougeaus against the Hart Foundation. Ricky, the Dragon Steamboat against Sika. Billy Jack Haynes will put the power of the full Nelson up against Bobby the Brain Heenan's Hercules. But after what happened right here in Boston last Saturday night, the return match has been signed for the Intercontinental title. The Macho Man, Randy Savage, will face a challenge of wrestling's living legend, Bruno Sammartino, but it will be a lumberjack match. The ring surrounded by wrestlers. This one is going to be settled one way or the other. Boston Garden, Saturday.
Let me tell you something about the living legend, Bruno Sammartino. I know how he reigned supreme for all those years. He was the king of the cheap shots. Yeah, he was the king of the cheap shots. Not only after Ricky Steamboat got put in the hospital did he cheap shot me, but he cheap shot me in the Boston Gardens when he came down that aisle, yeah. And then at the end of the match, when the Macho Man's hand was raised in victory, then the old man, what he does, man, he couldn't take it. He couldn't swallow it right there. No, man, he would have choked and died because of all that foolish pride that he has. But he gave me a knee in the back and she shot at me again. Right when I was pointing the Gorilla Monsoon and telling him, didn't I say that I was going to put him away? Didn't I say that he was going to put? Didn't I say that he was going to go completely down? But he cheap shot at me and put the bear hug on me. And then 7 wrestlers go into the ring and they back Bruno Sammartino and hold him on top of me. Right there with the lumberjack match on a silver platter, Bruno Sammartino. I don't know what's going to happen, but somehow I'm going to get the old man.
Ladies and gentlemen, in a moment we're going to take you to a Mulligan Roundup. As in Blackjack Mulligan, rounding up all the strays. You know how that is, Jesse. Let's take you now to big, rugged Blackjack.
So, when them doggies up now, separate them bulls there. Them bulls waiting them heifers there, boys. Move on up here. All right, let's go. All right, let's go. Moving on around here, guys. Let's go. Moving on around here. What we're looking at here is another herd of strays here. Mulligan cattle. One of the finest Texas Longhorns you've ever seen in your life. What we're going to try to attempt to do is put the Mulligan brand on another set of calves out there. WWF, what you better be ready for is Mulligan riding your way with my favorite horse, Sunday. Going to put the brand on you. We're going to be riding hard and fast, and we're looking for another herd of strays. So what I'm going to do to you, can you imagine Bundy? Woo! Red hot poker branding you. We're on our way, WWF. All right, boys, let's get them calves moved over there. Let's go.
You know, McMahon,
What?
now I know why they called Texans goat ropers. I couldn't tell if them was cattle or goats.
Ah, Jesse, you might be branded by the Mulligan brand.
This contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first from Stone Mountain, Georgia, weighing 249 pounds, Jake the Snake Roberts. His opponent from Goodyear, Arizona, weighing 230 pounds, Billy Anderson.
All right, Bill Anderson, ready to lock up with Jake the Snake. And, of course, I'm sure Mr. Anderson has read the book. on Jake the Snake, one of the craftiest, wiliest veterans in the World Wrestling Federation today.
Oh, definitely. Jake the Snake is breathing down every championship there is.
Ooh, look at that. This man, Jake the Snake, really has it all together. The complete package. Although he might be assisted, be it intentional or unintentional, by that referee, Danny Davis.
Oh, man, I am so tired of hearing that, McMahon, out of you and Bruno. Every time your favorite don't win, Danny Davis is the one that's called. It's getting old.
It is, Davis's officiating is getting very, very old. Jake the Snake.
What has he done wrong now?
So far, nothing. Oh. Jake the Snake in complete control. You wonder, you think about the circumference of Damien. Think about the circumference of the arms of Hulk Hogan. We asked Jake the Snake to compare and contrast the two.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Somebody has arms as big around as Damien.
No man alive has that.
And no man alive has ever got up from the devastation and destruction created by the DDT. Well, I certainly would agree with Jake the Snake. No man has been able to sustain. Oh, look at bags moving all around. Look at that. Whatever's in that bag wants to get out.
In there is a real 24-foot python. 24 inches around python.
Well, I'd say that's just about, wait a minute. This could be it. Yes. Whoa. Look at that. Whoa. That is devastation.
Now, I don't think it's going to matter how slow Danny Davis counts on that. Do you think it will matter?
What is... Oh, no, look at that snake. Oh, look at the size of that huge snake. You're going to dump it all over it. Look at that. Oh, my God. Oh, that gives me the willies just watching it. Oh, my goodness. Look at that snake. Sticking it right in his mouth. Look at that. There's no call for that. This man not cold. From that DDT, that snake all over him. Let's go back to the replay. Take a look at it. This is DDT. This is a devastation and destruction.
Boy, look at this. When snake outside, nobody does this like the Snake Roberts. When he look at this, the way he comes up. Oh my! Did you see that head? Hey, talk about a power drive. Every bit as devastating, if not even more so.
Stand by, everybody. Jake the Snake on the victory, and we're going to have in a moment some very interesting comments from some of the superstars here in the World Wrestling Federation. That's disgusting. Look at that.
Boston Garden, Saturday night, February 7th, in a match that has been signed this past week. And for those of you that were there last time, you know the reason. 488-pound King Kong Bundy to battle the man he just cost him $50,000, the Duke of Dorchester, Pete Doherty, the Rougeau Brothers, Jack and Mulligan, Brett the Hitman, Jim the Anvil, the Hart Foundation, Billy Jack Haynes to put the power of the Full Nelson up against Bobby the Brain Heenan's Hercules. And Boston, earlier, we heard from the Macho Man, and later on we will talk to wrestling's living legend, Bruno Sammartino. But the fact remains, the return bout for the Intercontinental title, the Boston Garden, Saturday, February 7th, a lumberjack match and the title on the line. And also February 7th, returning here to the Boston Garden after the injury he suffered on national television, it will be Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Ricky going up against a man from the jungles of Samoa Sika. But you've already proved, certainly, you are back in as good or if not better than ever, but still a lot of people very concerned over your voice.
Well, I've had a lot of cards, a lot of get well cards, a lot of letters. People in the area of Boston, I'd like to thank you very much for your concern. Kenny, you know, it played a lot of havoc on my mind on whether or not to come back. But having such good fans around the country, and especially in the Boston area, it did put a lot of weight on the balance of making a decision. I've got to wrestle against Sika. And from what I understand, the last time that he was here, he put away Corporal Kirshner, a very, very good wrestler in this area that's proven himself on TV and proven himself in the Boston Gardens many times. As everybody knows, this particular evening, Bruno Sammartino against Randy Savage.
Lumberjack.
But it's a lumberjack. And you know something, Savage? I'm one of the lumberjacks. If you happen to get thrown out of the ring over at my place, I'm not held responsible.
Charles Bronson must protect the president's wife from a...
All right, we're just about ready now, ladies and gentlemen, to really get you rocking and rolling. We're going to take you on a musical tribute to some of the bad boys of the World Wrestling Federation. Music, of course, by Miami Sound Machine. Let's take you now to the bad boys of the World Wrestling Federation.
Attraction is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first to my right from Danville, Illinois, weighing 233 pounds, Jack Kruger. His partner from Amarillo, Texas, at 260 pounds, Kevin Cullen. Their opponents are from Montreal, Quebec, Canada, at a total combined weight of 473 pounds. Here are Jacques and Raymond, the Rougeau Brothers.
Sensational tag team combination, the Rougeau Brothers, Jacques and Raymond, against these two individuals, I believe, teaming up for the very first time. Kruger, a couple of weeks ago, faced Andre the Giant. He said he'd never faced, no, beg your pardon, not Andre the Giant, the Ugandan Giant, Kamala, and said no matter whatever match was assigned in the future, he'd never get in there, no matter if he was suspended or whatever again with Kamala. We can't blame him, though.
That's right. He come out with a strong statement saying he would never again step into the ring with Kamala.
By the way, the Rougeau Brothers, Jacques and Raymond, they said something about Happy New Year, I think. Let's go back to what the Rougeau Brothers said earlier.
On behalf of my brother and myself, we'd like to wish you a very happy new year. De la part de la famille Rougeau, on vous souhaite une bonne année en 87. Et soyez prudents.
And in the ring is, well, a New Year awakening, I think, for Kruger and Collins. Having some difficulty, as you might suspect, against the Rougeau Brothers. As Kruger slams him down. What's Kruger doing now?
He's going off the top.
Oh, goodness.
He's trying a Kamala move.
Well, there's just a little bit of difference there.
Yeah, about 300 pounds.
Look at this. Uh-oh, what's going to happen here? Look at that maneuver.
Whoa.
Whoa, drop kick. And a 3 count.
Not sure that should be allowed. That's a bit of double teaming, McMahon. And, of course, you and Bruno don't say nothing about it now.
Your winners, the Rougeau Brothers.
All right, let's go back to the replay and take a look at the way the Rougeau brothers polished off their opponent.
What a spectacular move. Look at this. This Rougeau comes flying off scissors. Kruger takes him over, and the other Rougeau does a little sunset flip over here and pulls him down for the pin. Fantastic move. That's a great agility and quickness.
All right, we'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. The Rougeau brothers victorious. We'll be back as we continue with more exciting wrestling. Scheduled to join us later on will be the natural Butch Reed. Also, we're going to ask Jesse Ventura what he's learned lately about the Andre reinstatement. Stay with us, everybody.
If you're a businessman or woman with the brains, drive, and desire to...
All right, take a look at this, Jesse. You've heard of close shaves before, haven't you?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Here's the way they do it in the Outback, the Northern Territories. It's Outback Jack in Australia.
Kangaroo time, kangaroo down. Sport time, kangaroo down. Let me abos go.
Hello, mate. Good to see you. Outback Jack and down under Australia. You know, this place has got the lot. It's got excitement, danger, and everything. If it's not the Rouge, the Crocs, or the Buff, it's the Aborigine fellas running around everywhere. They tell me it's got about as much excitement as the World Wrestling Federation. So, mate, I'm going to hump me Bluey and get over to the US of A and have a lash at the WWF. They tell me there's no Rouge or Crocs over there to worry about, just the occasional steaming snake. You think I can do it? Matey, I'm Outback Jack. No worry.
Jesse?
All I got to say, McMahon, is I hope they make him take a bath before he gets in the ring.
Come on now.
This contest is scheduled for one fall. In the ring is the manager, the doctor of style. He represents from Kansas City, Missouri, weighing 255 pounds, the natural Butch Reed. His opponent from Tucson, Arizona, weighing 235 pounds, Ricky Park.
All right, we're going to have ourselves a match here. Reg Park against, hello there, one of the pretty young fedorettes. We're going to have ourselves a match. The natural Butch Reed against Reg Park, veteran who certainly knows his way around the squared circle. By the way, Jesse, what have you found out about Andre? You know, you promised us 2 weeks ago, you promised us you were going to talk to Andre the Giant. You lied.
No, I promised you 1 week ago I talked to Andre the Giant. Okay, I couldn't get to him yet. It's going to take me 1 more week.
I don't believe it.
You don't believe it? Well, that's fine. Next week I will talk to Andre the Giant.
You think you can get to Andre seriously in 1 week's time?
If I don't, I may just have to twist his arm and I'll get something out of him.
Well, we will look forward to that. What about Heenan? Have you talked to Heenan? What's going on? How's the Ventura investigation? I mean,
it's been horrible. Heenan's pleading the fifth.
Heenan's pleading the fifth.
He's pleading the fifth. I get more out of Oliver North than I can Heenan.
I don't know about that.
Well, you're going to get us a lot of alibis from Ventura, Vince.
I think you're right.
Hey, nobody asked for any comment from you, Bruno.
Well, we'll see whether or not you have Andre next week. You promised him a couple of weeks ago. We'll see whether or not you deliver next week. Meanwhile, Reg Park having some problems. The natural, but what?
When I do deliver, I want a public apology from you and Bruno.
All right. You did it. I think it's if, not when. I don't think Andre would talk to you. What do you think about that?
I don't think he'd have a choice.
Reg Park hammering away. You know, I figured out why Heenan won't say anything about this reinstatement.
Why is that?
He's so embarrassed. I mean, he spent all that money to get Andre suspended for the first time. Andre all of a sudden comes back through the back door. Andre, with his own battery of attorneys, I'm sure. I mean, I think I know what happened. I'm pretty sure Andre came in through the back door and outsmarted Heenan all the way through. That's why Heenan is embarrassed to talk about it. He's making alibis.
Well, you know, I don't put much credence in anything you say, McMahon, but maybe this one time you may be right. I don't know. I mean, everybody gets lucky once in a while.
I don't think this
The
man...
natural didn't get lucky, though.
He doesn't need luck, I don't think.
Here is your winner, the natural Butch Reed.
Quattro, Butch Reed. We'll take you back to the replay. And when this man comes off the rope there, it is something between him and victory.
A close line is devastating in any fashion, but coming off the top rope, 250 pounds, Funk and actually like Butch Reed does, it absolutely is devastating. Reggie Park said no escape. He had to stay down for count of 3.
You'll remember Jesse embarrassed himself comparing physique with Zeke and Martel a couple of weeks ago. All right, let's go back to another interview with Jesse and the Can-Am Connection.
Bonnie Ventura, and without a doubt, with all this screaming, it's got to be the arrival of Randy Macho Man Savage. Got to be the Macho. Whoa! Officer! Wait a minute. Hey! Where's the Macho Man?
I didn't see the Macho Man out there.
You mean to tell me all of that was for you? All that screaming and these women are for you? I've never seen nothing so disgusting. Officer, take care of this problem.
Well, as usual, Jesse has egg on his face, maybe a little something else. In any event, typical Ventura interview really never gets any information out of anybody. But right now, let's take you to a message where we're going to have a little bit more information, I'm sure.
Boston Garden, Saturday night, February 7th, as we talked about earlier, King Kong Bundy in a match signed this week to battle the man he claims cost him $50,000, the Duke of Dorchester, Pete Doherty. The Rougeau, Jacques Rimont, against Bret the Hitman Jim the Anvil, the Hart Foundation. Ricky, the Dragon Steamboat, against Sika from the jungles of Samoa. Billy Jack Haynes against Bobby the Brain Heenan's Hercules. And the return match for the Intercontinental title right here at the Garden, February the 7th. The Macho Man, Randy Savage, to face the challenge of wrestling's own living legend, Bruno Sammartino. But Saturday, February 7th, Bruno, a little different story. This time, nowhere to run. A lumberjack match, the ring surrounded by wrestlers.
Well, Kenneth, before we talk about the lumberjack match, let's backtrack a little bit. Here's the Intercontinental Champion, right? The Macho Man, right? This gutless punk, what does he do in Boston? First of all, he goes in the ring first, right? He had a plan. Boy, this guy really had a plan. When I tried to get into the ring, he was trying everything to talk about cheap shots. He tried everything to catch me with some cheap shots. But when he couldn't do it, because I finally powered my way into the ring, what does the Macho Man do, the Intercontinental Champion? He gets Elizabeth. Gets Elizabeth, this poor petite girl, in front of him to protect himself so that I couldn't get to him. I couldn't believe it that the guy, that spineless, that gutless to do something like that, but I did get to him. And when I got to him, I was teaching him the lesson of his life. But what does he do? He was in trouble, kept running to save himself. I finally got so disgusted I went after him, and I pounded his head on that outside ring. But out of desperation, as I was trying to get back in the ring, because I was listening to the count of the referee, he took a chair. Here's the guy talks about cheap shot. He took a chair, and he really threw that thing, and he caught me in the back of the head and the upper shoulders. And yes, it stunned me enough for me to fall back off the apron, and he rolled in, and he gets the victory. First of all, in my opinion, I think should have been a disqualification. Secondly, yeah, I gave him a cheap shot from the back. He was boasting about winning. I came in there, and I'm going to tell you something, Ken. This man's got to be in pain, but the job isn't finished, because I showed him what this old man still has left. I put a bear hug on him that I know that his ribs, he couldn't breathe. He was screaming. I wish the fence could have heard how this guy was screaming. But there were 7 guys, unfortunately, pulling at my arms, because it had not been for those 7 guys, there would be no return match, because that man would have been finished. He would have been finished. However, this is a lumberjack match. That means that he can run out, because if he runs out, he's going to be going. And like Steamboat says, he better not run out Steamboat's way, because I know the feeling there, and I know what he'd like to do. But the thing is, we're going to left. And this time, when I put on that bear hug, punk, I'm going to show you how much power this guy's left. I'm going to keep squeezing till I hear every rust and bone in your stinking body crack. And when I'm through laying you there, then I'm going to take that title, and then I'm going to put it up for an elimination tournament and let a deserving man wear that belt. Someone that we can be proud of.
It's Join to be a War, Saturday, February 7th.
Ladies and gentlemen, when Superstars of Wrestling scheduled to join us, yes, Outback Jack is back. With Norman the Bull, his pet, you won't believe what Norman does. And then from there, Johnny V, notwithstanding his representation of Valentine and Beefcake, will cut loose with a brand new tag team combination. And then from there, a match, yes sir, we would not want to miss this one. The Junkyard Dog squares off against the King, Harley Race. And then from there, you can bet it will be a very emotional moment when next week returning to this very ring will be the one and the only, the Dragon, Ricky Steamboat. So from ringside, for Bruno Sammartino and Jesse the Body Ventura, this is Vince McMahon saying so long to you. See you next week.